Very much, everyone, for your attendance at tonight's Town Council Planning Committee meeting. We will begin with apologies for absence or substitutions. I believe we have apologies from Councillor Mrs Farron, as she is away on holiday, and that is all I have, I believe. Was it good spot? Thank you very much. Right. Sure. Okay, so I'd like to propose that we accept those apologies, please. They were apologies for Councillor Henry Farron. You're most welcome for a second. Can I second you say that? No pressure. Can I take a vote on accepting those apologies, please? Thank you very much. That's carried. Next on the agenda, to receive the minutes of the meeting held on the 10th of June, which have been circulated. I wish that we propose these as a true and accurate record of the meeting. I'd like to propose that. Do I second them? I'll second, Chair. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any comments on those minutes before we go to a vote? Fantastic. Can we take a vote to accept those apologies? Minutes, please. Thank you very much. That's carried. Next up, to receive members' declarations of interest. Do we have any declarations of interest from any members of the committee?
I was just saying, I'm a member of the District Council, District Planning Committee, so I was in my right should any applications come forward.
Standing, thank you very much. Any further indications? No, perfect. Forgive me, do we vote on that? Please, no, fantastic. Those are noted, guys. Thank you very much. Chairman's announcements. I was going to comment on the Oakfield Way application because I think it was supposed to go before the District Council. Council ought to come up there to put me right on this. Has that been delayed, that decision, or have I got it? It might be early for it.
Do you mean the Green Trail Hospital?
Yes.
Yeah, no, went to committee, District Planning Committee, and was approved.
It did. Oh wow, well, for some reason I couldn't actually find an outcome. It looked like it's not actually been discussed. Okay, right, well, thank you very much. For the benefit of anyone who wasn't at the last meeting, bit of an issue with the district plan. The inspector has decided in the wisdom that it's not doesn't adhere to the duty to cooperate standards, and the district council has rebuked that with a response. So I think we're awaiting something of an outcome on that. But that was brought up last time, just for the benefit of anyone who wasn't here. And last night we did have planning training. A couple of us attended. Am I right in thinking that there might be an opportunity for anyone else to attend further?
Yeah. If anybody wishes to attend that training or indeed any other council related training, please do let me or Kirsty know and we'll arrange that for you.
And it's helpful for those who want to substitute, even if they're not on the committee. That is all I've got in the way of chairman's announcements. Does anyone have any comments on what I've raised?
Chair, just to say that the new planning and infrastructure bill is rapidly proceeding through Parliament. I checked on its progress today. It's a 196 page tome of a document, has quite far reaching implications. It's in the House of Lords second reading now, so it's being fast tracked by the government. I expect it to be presented to Royal Assembly probably August, September at the moment, and then we'll get a briefing from the District Council planning officers. But it's mainly major infrastructure, but it also has fairly big implications for decision making being delegated to officers rather than planning committees. So watch this space.
Yes, as it goes, that was mentioned in that training last night about the move from elected officials to officers. So interesting. I suppose it goes with the changes we've seen thus far. Okay, brilliant. Any further points, or should we move on? Fantastic. So next up, to note the planning action list. Sounds like you have to give me. I was forget if there's a thing that we have covered.
This is the action list. There is no update on those items today, sorry, so we can.
I'll move on.
Yeah.
Okay, it's nice to know that it's there. Okay, following that licensing applications, we have one. Provide 0792 new premises license for Fox Pizza on 135 London Road. Does anyone wish to make any comments on that? What we do licensing, we'll refer them to the licensing.
You note them normally,
Thank you.
unless anyone has any.
Noted.
Noted, thank you very much. Okay. Moving on then to the main part of the agenda, we begin with few trees as per. I'm not going to run through them all because I usually can't pronounce everything anyway. I would propose that we note these applications barring any issues raised by the delegated tree officer. Does anyone have any comments to make about any of these? Fantastic. We want to take on
That's.
Oh, I vote proposal, so.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Can I take a vote on that, please? Thank you very much. Right, next up then we have the main applications. We have two for this evening. And we begin with 1 Greenhouse Drive. DM 250609, which is a proposed garage conversion, rear extension, dormer, side window and detached garage. So this is the site plan. It's always helpful when you've got a comparison of the existing and proposed. So you can see here, I believe this is the new garage and the existing garage, which is built into the current property, is going to be converted. And then I believe this is the rear extension over here. So this is the proposed, the existing and proposed elevations. Existing over here, proposed over here. So obviously the garage, which is here, is disappeared, and then to the rear of the property, you have the extension, then the garage, the new proposed garage, which is over here. There's a couple of objections for this one, mainly by neighbours. A repeat concern is the loss of trees, I gather. There has been a tree report received on the 10th of June. It might be interesting to see what the designated tree officer makes of any of that. So this is in Ashcroft North, and Councillor Godwin, have you any particular thoughts on this application?
Not really. It seems to be in keeping with the general area, and yeah, I do know the complaints on regarding the trees, but personally, I cannot see a substantial reason to reject this.
I mean, just for what it's worth, you can see where the issue with trees are, because particularly the garage, but it doesn't remove all of the trees. Would you like to make a recommendation?
Well, then I'd make a recommendation to approve that. And as you mentioned, subject to anything by the tree officer that may contradict or say that there's any particular issue. Yes, I propose to accept, but just taking note into what the tree officer may come up with in the future.
Fantastic. Okay.
Chairman.
Thank you. Does anyone have any further comments on this one before we go to a vote? Fantastic. Can we take a vote to approve that subject to the relevant conditions? Thank you very much for that. Moving on. We find ourselves within Ashcroft North again, with 68. The land adjacent to 19 Escotts Drive, DM 25 1218, which is a proposed erection of one pair of semi-detached houses with associated parking and new shared vehicular access. So all screws onto one slide. That's the existing site plan. This is the area in question, a little bit of greenery. And then this larger image here is the two blocks to make the two semi-detached dwellings. And on here we have the visual elevations of how it would be looking and the ground floor, first floor plans. There are again a couple of objections for this one. In response to note potential drainage issues, which obviously would come to the fore when it goes to the local planning authority in more detail. And there's a question about overdevelopment, the size of the development with the of the build on that particular site. There's questions about whether it might have been better to have something a bit smaller. My own personal thought is that it's a good parcel of land for a couple of dwellings to go on. I think it's good use of the space. I think it looks quite nice. There might be a question about it being in keeping with the rest of the road, but I don't really see there's any kind of straight pattern along that road that would put this particularly out in keeping. And then this is supposed to be it's labelled on the planning portal as a visualisation of the street scene. Doesn't really show me very much, to be honest. But yeah, essentially these plans are a bit more of a easier to view illustration. So yes, again, Ashcraft North Councillor Godwin is the relevant ward councillor. Did you want to make any comments on this one?
My comments are very similar to yours. Thank you, Chair. It's, as you say, it's a good little plot to have some dwellings on. You know, there is a demand for housing. It is needed. And like yourself, I don't think there's any particular issue in regards to the street scene. I think it's really in keeping. Points regarding overdevelopment, I personally don't see that. I don't really agree massively with that. But yeah, so it's very similar to my last one. I'd be happy to just approve this, recommend approval for this.
Fantastic. Before we go to, does anyone want to second that recommendation? Councillor Whittaker, thank you very much. Anyone want to make any further comments before we go to a vote? Yes, please.
Thanks, Jess. I would say that actually it's in keeping with the line of houses on that side of the road anyway, so I can't see any real argument to not approve this. Just thank you. Thank you.
Councillor Whittaker.
Chair, the application pack is a very high quality application. The front elevations actually kind of marry up with in at the rear of the property. I think it's Escott's Barn, which is a listed building. So they've taken the Tudor kind of image to the front of that elevation, which I think is very clever use of style, really. So it's very good quality application.
Okay, I hadn't clocked that actually to the rear, so yeah, that's obviously well thought out on that basis. Councillor Scott, did you wish to?
I was just going to say, I like the fact that there's associated parking and the shared vehicle access. So yeah, that's good. Very well thought out.
Okay, right. Well, we have a recommendation for approval. Can we go to a vote on that, please? Thank you very much. That's carried. That takes us to the end of our applications themselves. For the next item of the agenda, was to get all. Anyway, just reviewing previous applications that have gone to, thank you, decisions from the MSDC. I thought it would be worth pointing out the Lansdowne for Call Down Road being approved, given that obviously we're quite familiar with the application and our comments to it last time, which I've put in here. Usual concerns regarding that area, particularly with the highways issues and etc. Did anyone wish to make any comments on this application at this late stage?
Chairman, I think the approval took place before June, but it's gone unconditional now because the section 106, which there's always a condition that it has to be completed within 3 months of the approval of committee. So clearly the 106 has been completed. So I'll suggest that we try and get a copy of the 106 because clearly the terms within that, particularly with infrastructure contribution, will be of great interest to this town council.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Not least for.
Thank you. Yes, when I saw it on the list, I thought, hang on a minute, I'm sure that had been. That had gone along before, but no, very good point on the S106. Did anyone want to make any further points on that? Obviously, it is a decision, so it doesn't really make any great deal of difference talking about it tonight. But given the list of decisions we had, that seemed like the most relevant to us at this point. Fantastic. Okay. That one's go down to the meetings.
Yeah, it's first through tonight.
Okay. Right, okay, so thank you very much, everybody. The next meeting will be on Tuesday, the 22nd of July, and I'll close this meeting at 19:22.